In the beginning, there was only the Word. Not a sound as you know sound, not a vibration through air or string, but a movement in consciousness, a decree in the unseen, a whisper of divine intent that said, "Let there be." And so there was. That Word, the invisible architect of galaxies, is the same power that moves through your lips when you speak, through your heart when you believe, through your imagination when you see with the eyes of the soul. It has never lost its potency. It is not aged nor diluted by centuries. It is as alive in you now as it was when the morning stars first sang together. I tell you a great mystery. Every word you speak is a seed cast into the boundless soil of your subconscious mind. And that soil, impartial, tireless, infinitely creative, does not ask whether the seed is good or evil, fruitful or poisonous. It simply brings forth according to its kind. This is the law of life. This is the law of the Word. Death and life are in the power of the tongue, says Proverbs 18:21. But few understand the depth of this truth, for your tongue is not mere flesh. It is the instrument of consciousness. It shapes the unseen substance of the Spirit into form. You are the gardener of your own Eden. You are forever sowing, in thought, in speech, in feeling. And your world is the harvest of your inner words. Long ago, I too spoke carelessly. I used words as empty decoration, without awareness that every syllable was charged with creative force. But the day came when I saw how my own phrases, my murmurs, my idle complaints were returning to me in form. Conditions, events, people reflecting back the pattern of my inner speech. Then I awoke. And when a man awakens to the divine mechanism within him, he becomes a new creature. Let me share with you the invisible ingredient, the secret that turns words into worlds. It is feeling. For the I verse responds not to hollow sound, but to emotional conviction. Words clothed in feeling are alive. Words spoken without feeling are like seeds without life, dry husks tossed upon barren ground. When you say, "I am prosperous," and feel within you a thrill of gratitude and certainty, that feeling carries your word deep into the subconscious, where it takes root and multiplies. When you say, "I am sick, I am poor, I am alone," and feel the sting of fear, that same power fulfills your decree, not out of malice but by perfect obedience. The law is impersonal, like gravity. You may bless yourself with it or bind yourself by it. The ancients called this the Logos, the creative word, the divine pattern of thought made flesh. In modern terms, it is the vibration of consciousness impressed upon the universal field. Science has brushed against this truth. Quantum physicists glimpse it when they speak of observation collapsing possibility into form. Psychologists touch it when they describe the subconscious as the maker of habit, the unseen puppeteer of behavior. Yet long before microscopes and mathematics, the sages of the Spirit declared, "As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he." Your heart, dear friend, is the laboratory of the infinite. There the experiment of creation takes place each moment. Your words are the commands, your emotions are the energy, your subconscious is the faithful engineer that carries out the blueprint without question or rest. Imagine a builder who receives your plans each night. He does not debate your choices, he simply constructs according to the drawings you deliver. If you hand him a design of ruin, he builds ruin. If you hand him a temple of light, he builds beauty. Your subconscious is that builder, and the blueprints are your inner words and images. When you lie down to sleep, the conscious mind withdraws, and the great builder receives the night's instructions. This is why Scripture says, "I will bless the Lord who hath given me counsel. My reins also instruct me in the night seasons." Psalm 16:7. The night season is sacred, for what you feel and affirm in that drowsy twilight before sleep descends into the fertile soil of the subconscious, where it germinates unseen. In those moments, your imagination becomes the womb of creation. If you fill it with images of peace, of health, of divine order, you awaken to a world rearranged by your decree. If you drift to sleep rehearsing fears and resentments, they too take root, rising later as the weeds of circumstance. Therefore you must become a wise gardener of thought. Sow deliberately, water your seeds with feeling, and guard your mental field from the thorns of doubt. Let me tell you of a man I once knew, a merchant in London who had fallen into financial despair. His business was crumbling, his creditors closed in. Each day he repeated to himself, "I can't keep going, I'm ruined, I'm finished." And his subconscious, ever faithful, accepted the decree. His business indeed failed, for he had decreed failure morning and night. One evening he came to me, weary and defeated. I said to him, "You have been using the law faithfully, but in reverse. You have spoken death to your enterprise, now let us speak life." I taught him to withdraw to silence each night and affirm gently, "Infinite intelligence governs my affairs, divine order reigns in my business, every day I prosper more abundantly." At first he spoke mechanically, but I urged him to feel the truth of his words, to imagine the joy of success, the lightness of relief, the gratitude of abundance already secured. Within 3 weeks new contracts appeared, old debts were resolved, and the tide of his life turned. Nothing outside had changed but his inner word, and the builder, obedient as ever, constructed prosperity where ruin had stood. This is not superstition. It is divine science. Your subconscious does not reason, it reproduces, and whatever you impregnate it with, through word and feeling, it brings forth in form, time, and space. Therefore I say to you, guard your speech, for it guards your destiny. The same law that heals a wound can heal a life. A woman once came to me tormented by illness. Years of medication had offered little comfort. When I asked her what she declared about herself, she said, "I always say I am sick and tired. Everyone knows it's true." I smiled gently and said, "Yes, and as long as you call yourself so, the law will fulfill your decree." I invited her to change her nightly words. Each evening before sleep she whispered, "Every cell of my body is under divine order now. I am whole, vital, and strong. The river of life flows through me in perfect rhythm." She would place her hand over her heart, feel warmth rising, and drift into slumber with gratitude. In 3 months her body responded. Her physician marveled. She was healed, not by me, not by medicine alone, but by the living word she had planted in the garden of her subconscious. By your words you are justified, and by your words you are condemned. Matthew 12:37. The scriptures of every age proclaim it, and yet the world still seeks outer causes. But the kingdom is within. Your life is not happening to you. It is happening from you. The subconscious is the watchman at the gate. It stands between the infinite and the finite, translating unseen ideas into visible facts. You cannot bribe or deceive it. You can only instruct it. And it receives its instruction not from what you merely wish, but from what you believe, feel, and continually affirm. When you understand this, you cease to fight with circumstances and begin to work with divine law. You become a conscious co-creator with God. The ancients had no laboratories, yet they were scientists of the soul. They understood that the spoken word carries vibration, and that vibration shapes matter. Today, physicists speak of resonance, of frequency, of patterns that organize particles into form. The same law governs your inner world. Your emotional frequency organizes the particles of your experience. Every thought tinged with emotion becomes a magnetic current, drawing to itself kindred conditions. Every feeling-filled word becomes a decree of the invisible architect. So I say to you, cease idle speech. Do not curse your day. Do not declare lack. Do not joke with self-destruction. For the universe knows no jest. The soil of mind receives all seed, and the harvest never lies. Instead, speak life. Speak peace. Speak abundance. Affirm. Divine love surrounds me, enfolds me, and protects me. Say it until your whole being vibrates with its reality. Then watch how even strangers become instruments of blessing, how doors open where none seem to exist. The word is the bridge between spirit and matter. When you unite word and image, speech and vision, you create a double imprint, a seal upon the mind that the subconscious cannot resist. This is the marriage of visualization and affirmation. If you affirm without image, the seed may float on the surface. If you imagine without word, the image may wander without root. But when the two unite in healing, creation is inevitable. Let us demonstrate. Close your eyes for a moment and imagine yourself bathed in golden light. See every cell alive, every nerve singing with harmony. Now say within, every cell of my body is under divine order now. Feel it, believe it, let the emotion be your signature, your authority. In that instant you have impressed the subconscious with a living command. Repeat this daily, and the invisible will become visible. This is not magic, it is law. The farmer who plants wheat does not pray for corn. He knows that what he sows he shall reap. You too must know, not hope, but know, that your words, when felt as true, will reproduce after their kind. How does one speak rightly? First, by watching the words that pass your lips. Second, by attending to the silent words within, the ceaseless inner dialogue that shapes your emotional atmosphere. When a thought of fear arises, replace it gently with its opposite. If you catch yourself saying, I can't, correct it. I can do all things through the power within me. If you think, I am too late, declare, divine timing is perfect, and I am in harmony with it. Each correction is a seed of freedom. Each affirmation is a royal decree that reorders the kingdom of your mind. Remember, the subconscious does not argue. It accepts the last word you give it. Therefore, always let your last word before sleep, before decision, before reaction, be of faith, not fear. The most creative moment of the day is the moment before slumber. As you drift between waking and sleep, the guard of the conscious mind relaxes, the gate opens. Speak to your subconscious then, as you would to a beloved friend. Whisper your decree in tenderness with gratitude as though it were already accomplished. Say, my word is my seed is my reality. Tonight I plant life, health, and abundance. Let that be your lullaby, and you will awaken to its fruit. Even modern medicine now bears witness to this truth. The placebo effect, long a mystery to science, is simply the law of belief in operation. When a man believes he has received healing, his subconscious sets in motion the same biological symphony as if the medicine were real. It is not deception, it is divine design. For the body is the servant of the mind, and the subconscious the governor of both. The same law that makes a sugar pill heal can make a word restore, and the most powerful word of all is I am. For when you speak those words, you invoke the name of the infinite within you. I am is the spark of the divine. When you say, I am weak, you decree weakness. When you say, I am strong, you summon the strength of the eternal. This is why the Christ said, before Abraham was, I am. He spoke not of personality, but of the timeless presence that is your true being. Begin then to speak from the I am within, not from the mask of limitation, but from the awareness of divine power. Say, I am divinely guided in all I do. Everything I touch prospers. The wisdom of God leads me this day. Feel these words as living reality. Let them saturate your mind like fragrance filling a room. Do this, and you will walk as one who carries heaven in his heart. Perhaps you say, but Joseph, I have spoken good words for weeks, and nothing has changed. Be patient. The law of gestation is universal. No seed flowers overnight. Your words are forming roots in the unseen. Trust the process. Doubt uproots. Faith waters. In the silent places of your mind, your builder is working even now, rearranging circumstances, aligning people, opening channels you cannot yet see. Hold fast to your decree. Say often, the divine plan of my life unfolds in perfect sequence. And so it shall. My friend, life is not a struggle against outer things. It is an awakening to inner law. The invisible ingredient that creates everything is not hidden from you. It is the word you speak, the feeling you wrap around it, the image you sustain. These three, word, feeling, vision, are the trinity of creation within you. Guard them well, for they shape the texture of your tomorrows. Speak gently, feel nobly, imagine beautifully, and the invisible will weave your world accordingly. Tonight, when you retire, remember this truth. You are writing the next chapter of your life with every thought you permit before sleep. Do not let the day end in complaint or fear. End it as the architect ends his design, with clarity, with gratitude, with faith. Whisper your decree to the great builder within. My word is my seed is my reality. Tonight I plant life, health, and abundance. Divine love surrounds me, enfolds me, and protects me. Everything I touch prospers. Feel these truths as already accomplished, and they shall be. For your subconscious, the faithful builder, will work through the night, constructing tomorrow from the blueprint of your word. And when the morning breaks, you will walk among the forms your faith has created. Now I call you, beloved listener across the world, wherever you are hearing this voice, whether in silence, in confusion, in longing, I call you to a sacred act tonight. Do not let this teaching remain a sound in your ears. Turn it into life. When darkness falls and you lie between waking and sleep, rewrite your script. Yes, rewrite it with new words. Erase the sentences of defeat, the old phrases of fear, the confessions of limitation that have written your yesterdays, and write anew upon the scroll of your mind, I am whole, I am loved, I am guided, I am prosperous, I am one with the source that created all things. Speak it softly, but with the authority of divine ownership, for your word tonight becomes your world tomorrow. This is the law of the word. This is the invisible ingredient that creates everything. Go now and rewrite your script tonight with new words. When the sun sinks and the world grows hushed, a holy hour begins. It is not written on any clock, for it belongs not to time but to eternity. It is the hour between the worlds, when the conscious mind loosens its grip and the deeper self stirs beneath the threshold. In that soft descent of night, when your eyes grow heavy and your breath slows to the rhythm of the tide, the door of the subconscious swings open. This, my friend, is the hour of the whisper. For the infinite does not thunder in your ear, it speaks in stillness. Creation begins not in noise but in a quiet conviction, a murmur of certainty breathed into the invisible. That is why the prophets withdrew to the desert, why the Christ rose long before dawn to pray. They sought that interior silence where the whisper of God becomes audible to the soul. And now you must learn to do the same. All day long you are sowing words of haste, reactions of fear, confessions of lack. But at night you have one last chance to rewrite the script. The whisper before sleep is the final signature upon the tablet of the mind. It is your nightly covenant with creation. Therefore I say unto you, make it sacred. Before sleep, let no unlovely word linger on your tongue. Turn off the clamor of the world, turn inward. Feel as though you were approaching the secret chamber of the Most High, for indeed that chamber is within you. Lie upon your bed as one about to commune with the infinite. Close your eyes and breathe as though you were drawing light itself into your lungs. Let every exhalation release the burdens of the day. Then, when your body is still and your mind half awake, half asleep in that golden borderland, speak softly to your deeper self. That soft speech is the whisper method. It is not shouting affirmations into the void. It is sowing living words into the soil of eternity. The tone is gentle, but the authority is absolute. You are the master speaking to the servant, the king instructing his kingdom, the architect dictating his design. Listen carefully, and I shall guide you. Say within yourself, not loudly, but as if breathing a lullaby to your own soul. Divine intelligence within me now directs my life in perfect order. Every cell of my body obeys the rhythm of health. I rest in the peace of God, and the peace of God restores me now. Pause. Feel the quiet joy that follows, as though those words had already become flesh. Then continue. My word is my seed. My seed is my reality. Tonight I plant life, health, and abundance. Let the phrase sink downward, like a pearl dropping into a deep lake. Imagine it falling into the silent waters of the subconscious, glowing as it descends, radiating through every corridor of your being. See yourself already living the fulfillment of your decree. If you desire health, imagine the vigor of the morning after recovery. If you desire abundance, picture yourself giving freely, joyfully, as one who has more than enough. If you desire harmony, hear within the laughter of reconciliation. The subconscious does not distinguish between imagination and reality. It receives impressions as facts and reproduces them faithfully. Therefore whisper only what you wish to multiply. The poet said, "He giveth his beloved sleep." Sleep is not a withdrawal from life, it is participation in the creative workshop of God. Each night you enter the womb of creation and bring forth the pattern you impressed before the gate closed. Think of the earth in winter, silent, motionless, yet under that stillness seeds are awakening. So it is with your mind in slumber. Your whisper becomes the seed, the night becomes the womb, and the dawn, the birth of your decree. How wonderful then to realize that you may redesign your destiny nightly, not by struggle, but by a whisper. There is a woman I knew in Dublin many years past. She came to me burdened by sorrow, her heart broken after years of disappointment in love. She said, "I have prayed and prayed, but nothing changes." I told her, "Perhaps you have prayed aloud, but your inner word contradicts your outer prayer. Let us speak anew in the silence of the night." I gave her a simple practice. Each night before sleep, she was to place her hand upon her heart and whisper, "Divine love fills me now. I am worthy of love. I am surrounded by love." I told her not to beg, but to feel that it was already true. At first she wept through the words, but night after night her feelings softened. The whisper became sweeter, steadier, more real. Within 6 weeks she wrote to tell me that peace had returned to her, and not long after, a man of noble character entered her life. She later said, "I did not find love. Love found me, because I had whispered it into being." Such is the law. When you change the inner vibration, the outer world must echo it. Now let me speak of the science behind this sacred art. Modern researchers observe that the brain in that drowsy borderland before sleep enters what they call the alpha-theta state, a state of heightened suggestibility where the critical mind grows quiet. It is this tesir, a same state induced in hypnosis, the same state in deep meditation. What the scientist measures with electrodes, the mystic has known by intuition, that in this state the gates of the subconscious are open. Your whisper at that moment carries 10 times the creative power of words spoken in waking haste. It bypasses resistance and sinks directly into the fertile soil. The body itself listens. Heart rate slows, breathing deepens, and the nervous system takes instruction from the feeling you generate. Thus the whisper is both spiritual and biological, a conversation between the conscious and the cells, between the divine and the dust. Therefore make your nightly whisper a ritual of healing. Do not hurry it. Let it be as sacred as prayer, as tender as a mother singing to her child. Perhaps you say, "But my mind wanders. I cannot concentrate." Do not fight it. The whisper is stronger than distraction. Even if you speak only one sentence with feeling before sleep, it is enough. The subconscious hears the emotion behind the word, not the perfection of the phrase. You may whisper, "I am divinely guided in all I do. Everything I touch prospers. Divine love surrounds me, enfolds me, and protects me." Repeat whichever phrase feels most alive to you until drowsiness steals upon you. Then let go. The seed is planted. The builder will work. I remember a young man who practiced this method to transform his vocation. He was a musician, gifted yet insecure, convinced that success belonged only to the fortunate few. Each night he would lie in bed rehearsing his failures, whispering to himself, "I'll never make it." And his life obediently echoed that refrain. When he learned the law, he reversed the record. He whispered instead, "The music of the infinite flows through me. My talent blesses the world." He imagined applause not as ego's reward, but as the universe rejoicing through him. Within months, opportunities appeared. A producer accidentally heard his performance and invited him to record. He said to me later, "It was as if invisible doors opened while I slept." Indeed they had, for the subconscious had rearranged the outer scene to match his inner song. This is the power of the whisper. It does not strain or strive. It sows and rests. It trusts the law to bring forth the harvest. To master the whisper, you must learn the art of emotional alignment. It is not the loudness of your words, but the gentleness of your certainty that moves mountains. The whisper must be wrapped in feeling, gratitude, peace, assurance. If you whisper, "I am healed," yet feel fear, the subconscious receives fear, not faith. So before you speak, quiet the storm. Breathe until you feel a subtle calm. Then let the words arise from that calm as ripples upon still water. You may use music, gentle light, or aroma if it helps you sink into peace. Anything that awakens beauty in the heart prepares the soil for the seed. Then whisper. Let your voice be slow, rhythmic like the ocean. Let your heart feel the truth, as though God Himself were speaking through you. For indeed, He is. Now consider the deeper mystery. Every whisper before sleep is heard not only by your subconscious, but by the universal subconscious, the collective field of humanity. You are not an isolated mind, you are a wave in the infinite ocean of mind. When you whisper words of love, peace, and abundance, you send vibrations into that ocean, and they return multiplied. Thus your nightly whisper blesses not only you, but the world. This is why I say, pray not for your self alone, but for all. When you affirm health, see all mankind uplifted in that health. When you affirm peace, envision nations at rest. When you affirm abundance, feel every child fed, every heart comforted. Such whispers shake the very foundations of the world. The Christ knew this when He said, "Whatsoever ye shall ask in my name, believing, ye shall receive." His name was not a syllable, but a state of consciousness, the I am awareness of oneness with the Father. When you whisper from that awareness, creation bends to your word. Let me give you a simple nightly formula, the whisper method in practice. Prepare the temple. Turn off all distraction. Dim the light. Sit or lie comfortably. Enter stillness. Breathe slowly. Feel your body sinking into the bed as if embraced by the earth itself. Invoke the presence. Say within, "The peace of God fills this room. The light of God surrounds me." Imagine soft radiance enfolding you. Speak the decree. Whisper a short affirmation that embodies your desire, always in the present tense, always with gratitude. For example, I am divinely guided in all I do. Every cell of my body is under divine order now. My word is my seed. My seed is my reality. Feel the completion. See the desire fulfilled. Feel the emotion of accomplishment. Let that feeling lull you into sleep. Rest and trust. Do not analyze or test the process. The seed works in silence. The farmer does not dig it up to see if it grows. Practice this for 7 nights and you will sense the change. Practice it for 70 and your life will mirror heaven. You may wonder, is a whisper truly so powerful? Consider the acorn. It is silent, small, easily crushed, yet within it sleeps a forest. So too your whisper. Its strength lies not in volume but in essence, for it carries the vibration of divine authority, the same authority that said, "Let there be light." In truth, every whisper is a microcosm of that first creative word. When you whisper, "I am," you echo creation itself, and the universe, hearing its own name, responds. There is a quiet miracle waiting in this practice. One night you will whisper your decree and fall asleep as usual, but you will awaken different. Something within you will feel light, assured, radiant, and from that day forward, circumstances will begin to rearrange. Not dramatically at first, but unmistakably. You will meet the right person, stumble upon the right idea, notice coincidences blooming like spring flowers. That is the subconscious at work, guided by your nightly whisper. Keep a journal beside your bed. Record your decrees, your dreams, your awakenings. This will anchor your faith in observation. You will see, written in your own hand, the proof that thought becomes thing, that word becomes world. Remember always, the whisper is not a request. It is a command in love. You are not begging the universe, you are instructing it. The architect does not plead with his builder, he directs. The gardener does not implore the seed to grow, he plants and trusts. So speak your decree with calm authority. I now rest in divine order. All things are working together for my good, and sleep in peace. The unseen will take care of the rest. Many have asked me, Joseph, what if I fall asleep before finishing my affirmation? Then rejoice, for the subconscious heard the feeling of your first words and began its work immediately. The law does not require perfect ritual, only sincerity. One whisper of truth outweighs hours of fearful chatter. Do not worry about technique. Attend only to the spirit. Let your words arise naturally, tenderly from love. And if one night you have nothing to say, simply feel gratitude. Gratitude itself is a silent whisper that says, "It is done." Let me close this teaching with a story of transformation through gratitude's whisper. A businessman in New York came to me suffering from insomnia and anxiety. He said, "My mind races with fear. I cannot rest." I told him, "Do not fight the fear. Replace it with thanksgiving." Each night I had him whisper, "Thank you, Father, for this perfect rest. Thank you for guiding my affairs. Thank you for the peace that passes understanding." At first he merely repeated the words, but gradually gratitude touched his heart. Within 2 weeks he slept soundly, and within 2 months his business, once faltering, flourished. He told me, "It seems everything obeys my gratitude." And so it does, for gratitude is faith fulfilled. Now, beloved soul, the night is approaching again. The stars are the silent witnesses of your creative power. They watch as you prepare to speak your decree into the darkness from which all things are born. Remember this, the outer world is but yesterday's whisper made visible. What you whisper tonight becomes tomorrow's landscape. You are the author of dawn. So when you lay your head upon the pillow, do not rehearse the pain of the day. Release it, forgive all, bless all, and whisper anew. Say softly, "I am surrounded by divine love. I am at peace. My life unfolds in perfect order. My word is my seed, and my seed is my reality. Tonight I plant joy, health, and prosperity." Repeat until sleep enfolds you, and when you awaken you will step into a day shaped by the tenderness of your own voice, for the universe is always listening, not to the noise of you or fear, but to the whisper of your faith. Therefore my charge to you tonight is this. Practice the whisper method before you sleep. Let your last thought be a word of life. Let your final feeling be gratitude. Speak your decree as one who knows that heaven bends to his whisper. Then close your eyes in peace. The infinite will take your word and mold it into form. This is the silent miracle of the subconscious, the builder that never slumbers. This is the law of the Word made flesh. This is the invisible ingredient that creates everything. Go now and practice the whisper method tonight. Let your last thought be your first creation. When the dawn opens its golden eye upon the world, a holy ceremony begins within you. Each morning is the birth of a universe, and the first words that fall from your lips are the royal decrees that govern the day ahead. Few understand the magnitude of this sacred moment, that the instant consciousness awakens from sleep, the veil between the conscious and the subconscious is still thin, porous, trembling with divine sensitivity. In that tender hush before the noise of the world floods in, your word is law, your word is seed, your word is the invisible ingredient that commands the unseen forces of life. I have often said that the first 5 minutes of the morning are the most powerful minutes of a man's entire day. For in those minutes the soil of the subconscious is still soft with the dew of night. It has not yet been hardened by the traffic of thought or the weight of the world. It waits like Eden before the fall, pure, fertile, unspoiled, awaiting the gardener's voice. What you plant in that hour will sprout throughout the day. If you sow weeds of worry, complaint, or fear, you will reap the thorns of frustration before evening. But if you plant the seeds of peace, power, and divine guidance, then your day will move in a harmony so exquisite that it will seem the angels themselves have prepared the way before you. Awaken then as a king awakens to his throne. Do not stumble into your day like a servant, but rise with the authority of divine sonship. For the moment your eyes open, heaven listens. It waits for your decree. The law is simple, eternal, and unfailing. By your words you are justified. and by your words you are condemned. Matthew 12:37. Your words in the freshness of morning are the blueprints by which your subconscious will build the experience of the day. Every phrase you utter, every image you hold, every feeling you permit is a line in the invisible architecture of your life. Therefore, begin your day as a builder begins his cathedral, not with haste but with vision. Let your first words be words of divine order and radiant expectation. Say within yourself, "This is a day the Lord has made. I shall rejoice and be glad in it." And feel those words, not as a ritual, but as a revelation. For when you feel a word, you have sown it in the soil of the subconscious, and the subconscious, that faithful builder, that silent architect of circumstance, will bring it forth as surely as the earth brings forth the seed. The science of this is not mystery, but law. During sleep, the conscious mind releases its grip. The guard at the gate rests. The subconscious takes command, continuing to weave the tapestries of belief impressed upon it through the day. When you awaken, that guard is not yet fully alert. This twilight between sleep and waking, the hypnopompic state, is your most potent hour of creation. It is the open gate to the kingdom of the inner world. Speak through it, and your words shall not return void. Speak wrongly through it, and confusion will reign throughout the day. I once counseled a businessman whose mornings were chaos. He awoke each day with anxiety gnawing at his heart, the echo of unfinished tasks whispering in his ear. By noon he was exhausted, by evening defeated. I told him simply, "You must claim your mornings as sacred ground. Your first words are the architects of your fate." He began to wake in silence before reaching for his phone or thought of duty. Each morning he said aloud, "Divine order governs my life today. I am guided in all my ways. Every meeting, every choice, every action unfolds in harmony." Within 2 weeks, his company began to prosper. Contracts that had been stagnant revived, and his own health and peace of mind flourished. He had discovered what few men know, that life obeys the tone set by the first sound of the morning. When you awaken, therefore, speak not idly. Let not complaint or regret be the first vibrations your subconscious hears. Remember the words of Proverbs 18:21, "Death and life are in the power of the tongue, and they that love it shall eat the fruit thereof." You eat all day the fruit of your first words. If you begin with bitterness, you will taste bitterness until nightfall. If you begin with blessing, your table shall overflow with joy. I have seen the same law in the lives of those healed by this practice. A woman came to me once, afflicted by years of chronic fatigue. Doctors found no physical cause, yet her mornings were heavy with dread. She told me, "Each day I wake up already tired." I replied, "Then you have instructed your subconscious to make it so. Tonight, as you sleep, impress the command of new life. And when you open your eyes, let the first words be, 'Every cell of my body is under divine order now. The life of God flows through me, vitalizing every atom of my being.' Say it with feeling, with certainty, with thanksgiving." She did this faithfully for 21 mornings. On the 22nd day, she told me through tears, "I awoke and felt the sunlight in my blood." She was healed not by medicine alone, but by divine law, the Word made flesh through morning decrew. And every dawn is a resurrection. As the sun rises, so does the Christ consciousness within you, the eternal awareness of divine sonship, of oneness with Source. To speak wrongly upon awakening is to crucify that light anew. To speak rightly is to roll away the stone and let life emerge victorious. Therefore I say unto you, guard the gate of the morning. Be the watchman of your first thoughts. Let your words form a sanctuary through which your day may walk in safety. Say within yourself, "I am divinely guided in all I do. Divine love surrounds me, enfolds me, and protects me. Everything I touch prospers." And as you speak, feel the truth of it vibrating through the chambers of your being, for feeling is the power that makes the word flesh. Science itself now echoes what the ancient prophets declared. Neuroscience tells us that the brain upon waking is highly plastic, receptive, suggestible, forming neural pathways that mirror your first thoughts. What you think and say within the first minutes after waking literally shapes the chemistry of your day. The subconscious is not poetic, it is mechanical. It builds whatever blueprint you hand it, without judgment or delay. And so when you begin your day with words of faith, love, and abundance, you are not merely being positive, you are engaging the machinery of divine law. Consider your morning as an altar and your first word as an offering. Let no idle or fearful speech pollute that sacred moment. If the world rushes in too quickly, pause, breathe, center yourself again, declare, peace, be still. You are the high priest of your own consciousness, and the dawn is your daily temple. There are those who say, I do not have time for such rituals. To them I say, you already have a ritual. You may call it worry, complaint, or distraction, but you perform it faithfully every morning. Change your ritual, and you will change your destiny. The difference between success and failure, joy and sorrow, is often found in the first 10 seconds of awareness. A careless phrase can scatter your power for the day. A conscious decree can align heaven and earth to your favor. I tell you the truth. The universe begins again each morning within you. Genesis is not an ancient event. It is a perpetual happening. Every sunrise whispers, let there be light. When you echo that divine phrase within yourself, you recreate the world anew. Say it now, even silently. Let there be light within me today. Let there be clarity in my mind, love in my heart, order in my affairs. Then rise, not as a beggar hoping for mercy, but as a son or daughter of the infinite, already blessed. The morning creation ritual is the daily marriage of word, image, and feeling. Visualize as you affirm. If you say, divine order governs my life today, see yourself walking through the hours with ease, meetings flowing smoothly, guidance appearing at every turn. If you declare, everything I touch prospers, imagine your hands as instruments of divine power, transmitting life to every task, every interaction, and above all, feel it, for the emotion is the sacred oil that anoints the word and makes it alive. There is no magic in mere repetition. The power lies in the conviction that your word is creative and your feeling seals it as fact. When you rise from sleep, your heart and mind are clay in your own hands. Shape them with reverence. Speak not as one uncertain, but as one who knows the ancient truth. The word is near you in your mouth and in your heart. Romans 10:8. And now, beloved, soul of the morning, I charge you with this. Before you check the world, check the word. Before you see the news, speak the truth. Before you scroll, decree. For your first act upon awakening is your covenant with the day. Whisper softly but with authority, my word is my seed is my reality. Today I plant only life, health, and abundance, and the invisible builder, the great subconscious mind, will obey. Then step forth into your day knowing this. You are not walking into uncertainty, you are walking into the outpicturing of your morning decree. The people, the events, the opportunities, they are but reflections of the seed you planted at dawn. Keep your mind anchored to that inner command, and all will unfold according to divine order. Tomorrow at dawn, before you touch your phone, before a single thought of the world arises, breathe gently and speak aloud. Divine order governs my life today. I am divinely guided in all I do. Everything I touch prospers. Divine love surrounds me, enfolds me, and protects me. Feel these words as golden light filling your mind. Repeat until the peace of God saturates your being. This is the sacred hour when your word writes the script of the day. Speak it as truth, and watch the world mirror your decree. There comes a moment in every seeker's journey when knowledge must ripen into discipline. The laws of life do not reward mere admiration, they answer demonstration. The tongue, that small member, holds the keys to kingdoms of light or darkness. And so I give you now a sacred challenge, a fast not of food, but of words, a purification of the lips and the heart, the 7-day word fast. For 7 days and 7 nights you shall become the high priest of your own speech. You shall watch the altar of your tongue with the vigilance of an angel before the throne. No word of limitation, complaint, sickness, or lack shall escape your mouth. If such a word attempts to rise, you shall arrest it at the gate of thought and transmute it before it crosses your lips. You shall become, in these 7 days, the guardian of creation itself. Why 7 days? Because the pattern of 7 is the rhythm of divine order, the vibration of completion. In 6 days the heavens and the earth were formed, and on the 7th the Creator rested, beholding all that was good. So too shall you, at the end of this fast, rest in the radiance of your own new creation. Each day of this sacred discipline is a chamber in the temple of transformation. Enter each one with awe. Understand this: the word fast is not suppression, but substitution. You are not merely holding your tongue, you are retraining your consciousness. Every time a negative word rises, replace it instantly with its divine opposite. Say not, I am tired, but rather, I am renewed by the life of God. Say not, I can't afford it, but rather, divine abundance flows to me freely. For the subconscious accepts only affirmations. It knows no jest, no irony, no negation. It builds according to the words you feel to be true. Therefore, during these 7 days, let every syllable be a seed of light. Day 1, the watch of the mouth. From sunrise to sleep, speak only words of harmony. Carry a small token or band upon your wrist. Each time you catch a discordant phrase forming, touch it as a reminder that you are now the builder of worlds. If you err, forgive yourself instantly and correct the vibration. For as the psalmist declared, set a watch, O Lord, before my mouth, keep the door of my lips. Day 2, the purification of thought. As your words begin to quiet, you will hear the inner dialogue more clearly. You will discover how the mind mutters beneath awareness, small judgments, fears, criticisms that poison the subconscious garden. Now turn the light upon them. Whenever you catch a thought unworthy of your divine nature, bless it and release it. Say inwardly, only the good, the true, and the beautiful occupy this mind. In this you become the master gardener, uprooting weeds before they seed the soil. Day 3, the baptism of feeling. On this day, join emotion to word. Let your affirmations be not dry recitations, but living rivers of conviction. Feel what you say. If you affirm abundance, feel the thrill of having already received. If you speak health, feel vitality tingling in every cell. For feeling is the power that anoints the word and sends it forth clothed in fire. Without feeling, words are like seeds cast upon stone. With feeling, they root in the heart of the subconscious and bring forth after their kind. Day 4, the fast of complaint. This is the turning point for many. You will notice how the world seems to tempt you into negativity. The news, the traffic, the careless word of another. But you are no longer a reed shaken by the wind. You are the tree planted by rivers of water. Refuse the bait of irritation. When others complain, answer with silent blessing. You are establishing a new atmosphere around you, a field of divine order in which no discord can live. Remember the teaching of Romans 12:21, be not overcome of evil, but overcome evil with good. Day 5, the speech of blessing. Now that your tongue is cleansed, begin to use it as an instrument of healing. Bless everything you see. Bless the stranger on the street, the cashier, the colleague, the one who opposes you. Say within yourself, divine love flows through you now, peace be unto you. As you bless others, you bless yourself, for there is but one life in all. You will feel an invisible current of joy begin to move through your affairs. You will notice doors opening, synchronicities unfolding, opportunities appearing where none seemed possible. This is the law returning multiplied what you have sown. Day 6, the word of command. Speak now as one who knows authority. Declare with finality the truths you wish embodied. Say, everything I touch prospers. Say, every cell of my body is under divine order now. Say, I am divinely guided in all I do. These are not hopes, they are decrees. Heaven responds to the tone of certainty. When you speak as one who already possesses, the subconscious obeys as a loyal servant. Even science nods in agreement. Repeated affirmation with conviction reshapes the neural architecture, aligning perception and behavior to fulfill its pattern. What you declare persistently becomes your lived experience. Day 7, the silence of fulfillment. On this final day, speak little. Let your words rest like seeds beneath the soil. Move through the hours in quiet gratitude. Observe the stillness that now inhabits your being, the serenity of one who has mastered his instrument. For after creation there is always Sabbath. You have sown, now you rest in faith, knowing the harvest is certain. As it is written, so shall my word be that goes forth out of my mouth. It shall not return unto me void, but it shall accomplish that which I please. Isaiah 55:11. You are now the living fulfillment of that promise. During this fast, you will witness miracles of consciousness. You will feel lighter, clearer, and more magnetic. You will find that people respond differently to you, for the vibration of your speech creates the atmosphere around you. Those who once opposed you may soften, situations that seemed immovable may shift, for your word is the vibration through which infinite intelligence arranges the patterns of your world. Let me share a story. A young teacher once came to me, weary of life. She said, "My classroom is chaos. The children will not listen. My colleagues are cynical. Each day I go home exhausted." I said, "For 7 days you shall speak only blessing. Every morning declare, divine order reigns in my classroom. These children respond to love and wisdom. Peace governs every activity. Speak it aloud before you enter the room. During the day, if confusion arises, whisper within, peace, be still." She obeyed. Within a week, the atmosphere transformed. The students became attentive, cooperative. One even said, "Teacher, it feels nicer in here lately." Her outer world had mirrored the new speech of her heart. And another, a man deep in debt, cursing his business daily, accepted the 7-day challenge. He began to bless his accounts, his clients, his suppliers, saying, "Divine abundance flows through every channel connected with me. There is always surplus, never shortage." In 7 days, one long-delayed payment arrived. By the end of the month, his books were balanced. He told me, "I changed my words and the world changed its tone. So it shall be with you." This fast is not a burden, it is liberation. For every negative word is a chain around your own ankle, and every positive decree is a key that sets you free. You will find by the 7th sunrise that you speak with new power. Your words will carry weight, for they will no longer be diluted with contradiction. You will have rediscovered the original tongue, the speech of creation itself. If you falter, do not condemn yourself. Begin again immediately. Even one conscious day of right speech plants seeds that continue to grow. Forgive your slips and reaffirm your mastery. Remember, the law is impartial and instant in response. You are always sowing and reaping by the vibration of your word. The wise therefore keep their speech under divine order, as a musician keeps his instrument tuned. When the 7 days are complete, mark the occasion with thanksgiving. Write down what you have noticed, the subtle changes, the new ease, the quiet confidence. These are signs that your subconscious has accepted a higher pattern. From this day forward, your language will never again descend into the valley of complaint. You will speak as a creator speaks, calmly, deliberately, lovingly. And now, let us affirm together, divine love surrounds me, enfolds me, and protects me. My word is my seed is my reality. Everything I touch prospers. Every cell of my body is under divine order now. I am divinely guided in all I do. Feel these words ripple through you like sunlight on living water. They are no longer mere affirmations. They are the living law written upon your heart. For the next 7 days, vow to let no negative word escape your lips. Each morning begin with the morning creation ritual. Through the day, bless every situation, every person, every thought. If a discordant phrase rises, pause, breathe, and transmute it into truth. At night, give thanks that your speech has become a channel of divine power. Keep a journal of your transformation. Note the miracles that follow. At the end of 7 days, you will speak with the tongue of the Spirit itself, and your world will echo your decree. There is a secret chamber within every soul where light and shadow wrestle for dominion, the chamber of memory. And until a man learns the holy art of forgiveness, that chamber remains a prison. For the word that creates also binds, and the same tongue that blesses may curse, if the heart is not cleansed of resentment. You may affirm health, peace, and abundance all your life, yet if the undercurrent of bitterness whispers beneath the surface, your words will return to you void. The law cannot be mocked. As you send forth, so shall you receive. Therefore, beloved of the infinite, let us now enter the temple of forgiveness, for this is the hidden key to all power, the release of the past, the cleansing of the channel through which divine life flows. No man can hold resentment and peace in the same heart. No woman can cling to old injury and expect the river of blessing to move freely. You must loose and let go, for it is written, forgive and you shall be forgiven. Luke 6:37. Not by decree from another, but by the law of your own subconscious. When you release another, you release yourself. Forgiveness is not a moral duty alone, it is a law of mental chemistry. The subconscious cannot create freely while bound by negative emotion. Bitterness crystallizes thought. It clogs the channels of creative power. When you forgive, you dissolve the hardened thought forms that imprison energy, and life flows again as pure light through your being. Forgiveness is the solvent of the soul. I once counseled a woman who had been betrayed in business. She said, Dr. Murphy, I will never forgive him. He ruined me. I replied, then he still holds you prisoner. Not in fact, but in thought. Forgiveness does not justify what was done. It liberates you from its vibration. Until you bless him, your own prosperity cannot rise. She struggled, but she obeyed. Each night before sleep she repeated, I fully and freely forgive. I release this man to God. Divine love fills my heart. There is no resentment in me. Peace, health, and abundance flow freely through me. Within weeks, unexpected opportunities opened. A new investor appeared. Her business flourished beyond its former state. She told me through tears, when I forgave, I was free. Thus does the law fulfill itself. To release is to increase. Forgiveness is not forgetting. It is remembering without pain. It is seeing the hand of divine wisdom even in what once wounded us. Every soul who crosses your path is part of the curriculum of your awakening. The seeming betrayer is but the actor through whom a hidden lesson plays out. When you see this, bitterness melts into understanding. You no longer resist the memory. You transmute it into light. Try this sacred exercise tonight. Sit quietly. Bring to mind the one who has wronged you most. Do not shrink from the feeling. Feel it fully, then speak aloud these words. I release you and set you free. I wish you love, peace, and every blessing of life. Whatever you have done, I now see you through the eyes of divine compassion. God is in you as surely as God is in me. We are both free now. Then breathe deeply and imagine golden light flowing through your heart, dissolving every knot of resentment. Do this until you feel a warmth, a softness, a sense of release. This is the sign that forgiveness has begun. Repeat this practice daily until you can think of that person with peace. When you reach that point, the energy that was once trapped in anger becomes creative power. You will feel renewed vitality, clarity, and joy. For forgiveness is not loss, it is gain. It returns to you the energy you gave to judgment. Science, too, now bears witness to this truth. Studies show that unforgiveness constricts blood vessels, raises pressure, and floods the body with toxins. Forgiveness, conversely, releases endorphins, balances the heart, renews the immune system. You are not merely being spiritual when you forgive, you are being scientific. You are aligning your biology with divine law. For every cell of your body listens to the language of your soul. When you say, I forgive, the body hears, I am safe again, and health rushes in like dawn through an open window. If you would test this law, begin tonight. Before you sleep, review the day and forgive all, large and small. Say silently, I forgive everyone for everything, and I am forgiven. You will sleep like a child, for resentment cannot enter the dream of peace. And as you forgive, so does your subconscious release the pattern of old conflict. New good begins to flow, health, supply, guidance, opportunity. The old blockages dissolve, for they were only hardened thoughts. Forgiveness also extends inward. Many secretly condemn themselves. for past mistakes, for lost years, for things left undone, but you cannot walk forward while dragging the corpse of your own guilt. Say within yourself, I forgive myself completely. I did what I knew then. I now choose the higher way. Your past does not define you. It refines you. It is the raw material out of which wisdom is forged. Release it, and you will feel your soul expand. As it is written in Isaiah, though your sins be as scarlet, they shall be white as snow. The snow of forgiveness falls gently upon the landscape of your mind, and every harsh outline softens into beauty. Now let us turn to the protective decrees, for once the heart is cleansed, it must be fortified. Forgiveness opens the gate. Protection guards the gate. To forgive is to release the past. To decree protection is to command the future. You live in a world of mental atmosphere. Every thought a vibration, every word a wave. As you move among minds not yet awakened, you will feel their currents. But you are not a reed in the stream. You are the one who commands the waters. Each morning and night, surround yourself with the mantle of divine love. Visualize a sphere of golden light enveloping you, radiant, impenetrable, luminous with peace. Say with conviction, divine love surrounds me, enfolds me, and protects me. Only good can enter my field, and only good can go forth from me. No fear, no malice, no discord can find lodging here. I dwell in the secret place of the Most High. Feel the truth of it, for as you decree, so it is. The subconscious accepts your word as law and radiates that vibration through every cell, every circumstance. Soon others will feel it without knowing why. A calmness, a respect, a peace emanating from your presence. This is spiritual immunity. Just as the body develops antibodies to protect against infection, so the mind, trained in truth, develops spiritual antibodies to repel discord. When fear attempts to enter, answer immediately with a decree. Say, peace, be still. God's love governs this situation. When someone sends criticism or anger your way, reply inwardly, divine love is now dissolving this vibration. I am immune to all negative influence. And you will feel a quiet strength rise within you, not defiance, but serenity. You are learning to dwell in the fortress of divine awareness. There is an ancient phrase from the Psalms, He shall give his angels charge over thee, to keep thee in all thy ways. These angels are your own divine thoughts, messengers of light that go before you, preparing the way. When you decree protection, these thoughts become living forces, arranging conditions for your safety and success. No harm can touch one who walks clothed in consciousness of divine love. Even the appearance of danger becomes a messenger of wisdom. Nothing is against you, everything is for your growth. I recall a man who traveled often through dangerous regions for his work. He lived in constant anxiety until he learned this decree. The love of God surrounds me. The light of God leads me. The power of God protects me. The presence of God watches over me. Wherever I am, God is. He repeated it before every journey. One evening, a severe accident occurred on the very road he had been scheduled to take. A last-minute change of plan delayed him just long enough to avoid it. He wrote to me, I know now that divine intelligence rearranged events for my safety. So precise is the law when it is spoken in faith. Beloved, understand this. You are never at the mercy of the world. You live in the atmosphere of your own decrees. When you speak protection and love, you create a field so luminous that nothing contrary can penetrate it. The same law that governs the seed and the star governs your safety. You are the Word made flesh, and your word sustains your world. Each morning, therefore, after your creation ritual, affirm your protective decrees. Let them become your invisible armor. Divine love surrounds me, enfolds me, and protects me. The light of God guides my path. The wisdom of God directs my decisions. The power of God upholds me. No weapon formed against me can prosper, for there is only the power of good. Say these not mechanically but with feeling, until you sense the vibrations settle around you like a gentle current. Then go forth into your day in perfect peace. And if fear whispers again, return to your center and repeat, I live, move, and have my being in God, therefore I fear nothing. Fear is faith inverted. Turn it upright and it becomes confidence. Forgiveness opens the heart. Protection strengthens it. Together they form the complete circle of mastery. A heart cleansed by forgiveness and shielded by divine love becomes an instrument of tremendous power, healing others by presence alone. When such a person walks into a room, tension eases, conflict softens, peace descends. This is not mysticism, it is the science of vibration. You become the embodiment of harmony, and the universe arranges itself around your peace. Therefore, begin tonight. Forgive, bless, and decree protection. Release all that binds you to the past. Clothe yourself in the garment of divine love. Then sleep knowing the invisible angels of your own thoughts watch over you. For he who has forgiven all and decreed protection walks as a light in the world. Tonight before sleep, bring to mind anyone or anything that stirs pain. Say softly, I fully and freely forgive. I release you and set you free. Divine love fills my heart. Then imagine a golden light expanding from your chest until it fills your room, your home, your world. Finally, declare your protective decree. Divine love surrounds me, enfolds me, and protects me. I dwell in the secret place of the Most High. Let these words be your final thought before sleep. You will rise renewed, for forgiveness clears the channel and protection seals it in light. There comes a moment in the unfoldment of every soul when the solitary seed must join the field, when the one who has learned to command his word in silence feels the inner call to speak his word in union, for power multiplied by love becomes unstoppable. The same law that governs the single thought governs the collective decree. When two or more agree in the name of truth, mountains move and worlds are renewed. It was never the design of spirit that man should walk alone in his dominion. Creation itself is a choir, not a solo. The stars sing together, the atoms dance in harmony, the galaxies whirl in perfect accord, and when men and women of faith unite their words in one accord, the earth trembles with new birth. It is written, where two or three are gathered in my name, there am I in the midst of them. Matthew 18:20. To gather in my name means to gather in the consciousness of divine law. To speak not from fear or petition, but from knowing. When you speak as one in that vibration, the word takes on exponential force. Each thought is a note, each word a tone, each feeling a current. And when minds attuned in love sound together, a symphony of creation resounds through the invisible. This is group word power, the collective utterance of divine intention through many hearts beating as one. Beloved, we stand now at the threshold of a new age, an age when humanity shall rediscover the creative law of its own word. No longer shall men speak carelessly, scattering the seed of discord. They shall learn to speak as kings and queens of light, decreeing harmony, health, and abundance for all. Already the tide begins to turn. In every nation, souls awaken to the realization that thought is cause and life is the mirror. A new generation of builders rises, builders not of stone but of consciousness. They know that to speak in unity is to shape reality itself. I tell you truly, there is no power on earth greater than a group united in divine purpose. When hearts agree on truth and affirm it with feeling, nature herself bends to obey. The vibration of harmony travels through the ethers, influencing minds, systems, climates, events. Invisible but sure, it rearranges patterns of energy to match the decree. I have seen it. I once guided a circle of students who met weekly to practice collective affirmation. We began with forgiveness, each releasing the week's worries. Then we joined hands, closed our eyes, and spoke one decree aloud. Divine love now heals and prospers all present and radiates through this city as light. We spoke slowly, rhythmically, until every heart beat in unison. Within months, transformations unfolded. One man's failing business turned profitable. A woman long estranged from her daughter received a call of reconciliation. The atmosphere of the group seemed to ripple outward. Neighbors grew friendlier, opportunities multiplied, even the weather felt gentler. It was as if the invisible responded to our combined word. Indeed, it did. For the word is vibration, and vibration knows no boundary. Your voice, even whispered, is not confined to air. It travels through the universal medium of consciousness. When you speak in love, that love radiates through the lattice of life itself. The scientist may call it resonance, the mystic calls it prayer, the scripture calls it the word made flesh. It is all the same law. If you would prove this, gather with those who believe as you do. Choose a simple, noble decree, one that blesses all. Perhaps, peace now reigns in every heart, or divine order governs all affairs of this nation. Speak it together daily for 7 days. Feel it, see it, know it. Let your feeling be the music that carries the word into form, and watch as events begin subtly to align with your decree. The invisible responds instantly, the visible follows in due time. But remember, unity in word begins with unity in heart. Before any group can decree effectively, its members must forgive one another. No discord can dwell where power is to flow. Let the group begin each meeting with a few moments of silence, each saying inwardly, I bless all present, I forgive and am forgiven. Thus cleansed, you may speak with one voice, and your decree shall move mountains. When humanity rediscovers this simple truth, the face of the world shall change. Wars will end not by treaties, but by the united word of enlightened minds. Poverty will vanish not by policy, but by the decree of collective abundance consciousness. Disease will fade as the vibration of health becomes the common frequency of mankind, for creation ever answers the tone of belief. And when belief harmonizes across many souls, heaven touches earth. Now, beloved listener, imagine yourself standing in that great circle of awakened souls. Around you, countless hearts glow with the same divine fire. You are not alone. You are part of a living current of creative power flowing through the ages. Feel the hum of countless affirmations uttered in faith by prophets, saints, scientists, and seekers of every age, all converging in this eternal now. You are the continuation of that word. You are the voice through which eternity speaks again. Lift your thought and decree with me now. Divine wisdom governs my mind. Divine love fills my heart. Divine power directs my path. Every cell of my body is under divine order now. Everything I touch prospers. I am divinely guided in all I do. Divine love surrounds me, enfolds me, and protects me. Let these words roll through you like waves. Speak them aloud if you can, or whisper them with the breath of your soul. Feel the vibration ripple through the field of all being. You are sending life to the world. Do you not feel it? That subtle thrill, that quiet joy, as though the universe itself pauses to listen? For it does. Each time a soul speaks truth with conviction, the cosmos leans in, rearranging itself to comply. The infinite delights to fulfill its own word through you. Now we enter the closing affirmation loop, the eternal echo of creation. This is not an ending but a spiral carrying your consciousness ever higher. Let the rhythm of these affirmations become your heartbeat, your breath, your being. My word is my seed is my reality. Tonight I plant life, health, and abundance. Every cell of my body is under divine order now. Everything I touch prospers. I am divinely guided in all I do. Divine love surrounds me, enfolds me, and protects me. Pause after each line, breathing in its truth. Feel the resonance in your chest. You are not merely repeating words, you are generating worlds. The subconscious, your faithful builder, listens and obeys. It begins at once to construct the outer counterpart of these inner decrees. All of creation moves to fulfill the pattern impressed upon it by your word and your feeling. Visualize now a world bathed in golden light, nations at peace, children laughing, rivers clean, hearts awakened. See your family, your home, your work illuminated by that same light. Whisper within, let there be light, and behold, there is light. The invisible ingredient, your own awakened word, stirs the unseen substance of life into motion. You are the instrument through which God dreams his next creation. Let us seal it now with one great decree of unity. We are one life, one mind, one love. All that God is, we are. All that God has, we share. From this day forward, we speak only words of truth, beauty, and power. Our world is radiant with divine order now. Hold that vision, feel it, know it, for this is the final mystery. You are both the speaker and the spoken word, both the seed and the soil, both the dreamer and the dream. As you rise from this listening, remember, every conversation, every thought, every whisper is a seed. Speak with reverence, think with love, act with faith, for the secret of leap. Fee is no longer hidden. It is your own creative word. Go now and plant wisely. Let your speech heal, your presence uplift, your faith build new worlds. And as you lie down tonight, whisper once more, my word is my seed is my reality. Divine love surrounds me, enfolds me, and protects me. Sleep in that awareness, for the infinite listen, and tomorrow your words will walk the earth as living proof of the law fulfilled. Gather this week with at least one other soul. Agree upon a single decree of blessing for your family, your city, your world. Speak it daily with feeling in perfect faith. Then each night repeat the closing affirmation loop until it sings within you. My word is my seed is my reality. Tonight I plant life, health, and abundance. Everything I touch prospers. Divine love surrounds me, enfolds me, and protects me. This is the eternal practice, the word returning to its source through you, and so it is. Amen.